I'm John Wells from Rimol Greenhouse Systems.
And I'm Jessica Paige from Adama Farm.
So how did you develop like this passion for farming? Like, you want to take us back into the past, like how this whole thing got started?
Yeah, well, I think I always knew that I liked working outside and with my hands. I was always a very creative person. So I always wanted to work with my hands, and I always wanted to be outside because I always felt this connection to nature. And I think as humans, we all kind of have that connection to nature. But
So artsy?
I was a very artsy kid. Yeah, I originally went to school for fashion design, and then as I was learning more about the fashion design industry and working towards that goal of mine, I realized that I wasn't actually going to make the type of impact in the world that I wanted to make. And so I took an environmental studies course my freshman year just for extra credit, and learned so much about how our food system is intertwined with our climate and just the world in general and everything that's happening with our environment. And so I realized that how we grow our food has the power to either help our environment or destroy our environment. And so then I knew that farming was actually a very profitable industry in that way, because it could be a solution to what we're facing with climate change.
So powerful as in a way to make a change in the world.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went to school for fashion design, and then you kind of realized that it's like, hey, I want to make a difference. There is a difference to be made.
Just more of a difference in the world, yeah. And I wanted to work with my hands more and be outside more. And so when 2020 hit, COVID, I realized that I wanted to be way more self-sustaining and develop my skill set. And at that same time, I was becoming more and more interested in farming and how to grow food. And so I joined a work trade program called WOOF, which stands for Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms. And I had my first farming experience in Eugene, Oregon. And at
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and at that farm I learned all about regenerative farming, organic farming, more of a no-till type of farm as well. And that experience really opened my eyes to the world of farming, and I fell in love with it. I just fell in love with waking up each day early, being outside, getting my hands dirty. It just felt very fulfilling on a very spiritual level and physical level and mental level. I was just fully engaged in what I was doing. I went to Maine and was there for a summer, and then I went to Puerto Rico and was there for a few months on a more tropical fruit farm there. And then I decided it was time to get some apprenticeship experience. So I found out about Frith Farm and applied to Frith and started working there for a full season. And that really showed me what it was like to really be in a production farm and manage that.
Here we are, we're outside of Chicago, and you've recently purchased this beautiful farm that was in, what would you call that, despair? No.
No, it just hadn't been farmed in 20 years.
20 years?
20 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So everything was really overgrown when I first got it, and we're making progress on landscaping, and then also with the farm right now, bed prep and all that. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but.
So what's your vision? What's your current vision right now? So you just purchased 2 high tunnels, and you're putting those up right now. You've never farmed here yet, right? So
Nope.
this coming spring is going to be like
My first
day
season.
number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
My very first season.
So you have some beds out there that are prepped.
Yes.
You've got some that are tarped.
Yes.
And you have the 2 high tunnels going in, and those beds are all set. They look very similar to Frith Farm's beds.
Yeah. Learn from the best.
So you're going to grow a variety of stuff.
Yeah.
So are you going to like start big or start small, and where are you going to sell all that stuff?
I feel like I should start small, but I always go way bigger than what I'm trying to do. My mind just can't it can't comprehend small. So I'm in way over my head already.
Excellent.
But I am going to farm an acre that you see out in the field of diversified vegetables. There's already existing fruit trees scattered around this property, so I got really lucky with that because I would like to be both a fruit and vegetable farm. So the main goal is to incorporate more fruit perennials around the farm, but also focus on diversified veg for next season. So in the high tunnels that we just put up, cucumbers, tomatoes, eggplant, peppers would be great for those high tunnels, and do some shoulder planting as well, some intercropping. And then your lettuce, your spinach, all the greens, the kale, the root veg, and
That'll
just
be
have
outside?
that in succession. That'll be outside. Yeah.
Potatoes?
Onions, garlic.
whole-
I mean, all of it.
Okay.
All of it.
So
yeah.
you're jumping in with both feet and just doing more than you could possibly do.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you choose Rimol tunnels?
Because of my experience at Frith, and I wanted to work with what I was familiar with, ultimately. I also saw so much success when it came to the high tunnel production at Frith. It was just guaranteed success, and I also was able to work on some of the high tunnels at Frith. I renovated the baseboards. Daniel had wooden baseboards, and we changed them to polycarbonate, so that's why I went with polycarbonate.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I really just wanted to work with what I knew worked well. I think high tunnels, for me, they almost guarantee a better success rate when it comes to growing food, especially if you're in a place where the growing season is much shorter. Like here, we have long winters, and so I'm looking to extend my growing season a little bit longer, and so high tunnels just make more sense for me to kind of trap the heat. Yeah.
So it kind of guarantees a good crop, like tomatoes, for
a longer
instance.
season, and yeah, it just makes sense too with just being a production farm and trying to extend your season a little bit longer to just make more money.
So this has a lot of potential to really see your dream happen.
Right.
Like, this could be the place that you stay for the rest of your life.
For the rest of my life, I definitely plan on it. Yeah, I would love to get animals too, since there's so much land. It's like, why not incorporate some animals?
Why not?